Good morning. It is Wednesday, April the 9th, a little after 8 o'clock in the morning, rolling out. And I just had like a really busy weekend, and I feel like it's time for me to finally admit that I'm overextending myself. You know, there's burning the candle at both ends, and then there's doing what I'm doing, which is lighting the candle in the middle as well. And so I'm going to verbally go over kind of all the stuff I'm involved in. So obviously I'm a real estate agent full-time. That is my full-time job. That's my major source of income. Over the weekend, I participated in an event called the Midwest Gaming Classic. It is a classic video game convention. So you've got your old Nintendo, Atari, stuff that's even older than that, like pinball games from the 60s, you know, just incredibly old stuff. A lot of fun to be had there. So I played a lot of games, but I also like performed as a DJ on Friday night there, and so they gave me a weekend pass as part of my as part of my compensation, and so I was able to just walk around. I had all access. I was able to go backstage. It's kind of fun. So that was cool thing number one, but also like, that's not the only thing I'm involved in. I am also the president of my neighborhood association, and we're delivering a newsletter this week. It's the first newsletter that the neighborhood association has produced since 2019. The neighborhood association started to dissolve and almost went away completely during COVID because we had like no events, and the people who were running it who had been doing so for several years, and they were getting kind of like tired and wanting to pass on the baton, and so I picked up in 2023, and so this is my third year being the president, and we're finally starting to get back to the point where we were before, but still not quite there. So it's not a lot of work, but it can be if I let it. I have a lot of help now, which I didn't have a year ago, 2 years ago. And so that's one of the reasons we're able to do the newsletter. Before it was just like, hey, let's just keep, the 2 or 3 big events that the neighborhood association does every year going. And now it's like, we're finally at this point where we're going to get, something going on like every single month or whatever. So that's really good. And I'm really proud of that. And I want that to keep going. Let's see, I also am part of my office's ALC, Associate Leadership Council. So if that's something, if you're an agent with Keller Williams, you know that agents who are in like that top 20% are invited to sit on kind of a board of directors and think about initiatives that are going to help grow the office or make differences in the community, and grow the agents that are here, get more agents into higher level of production. So that's a major passion of mine, because I want to be able to help everyone I can. I started a subgroup for Keller Williams Realty called KW Geeks, because there's a handful of people that I've talked to over the years, and we're also into video games and comic books and movies, etc. And they thought, hey, we should have our own little culture thing, and so we've got a little group of 50 people or something like that now, and we'd like to be able to grow that. And then of course I've got a family. I love them, and it's not that they demand a lot of my time, but I want to give them as much time as I possibly can. Also the very fact that both of my kids are teenagers now. It's not that they don't want anything to do with me, but they've got their other commitments and other interests, and so hanging out with dad is not always number one. So I need to make sure that when I can get time with them, that it's important quality time. Having my face buried in a computer or a phone or whatever because I'm working on other stuff is just not an option anymore, because my time with them is more limited. When I was home with them all day, it was okay to spend, a little bit of time just plopped in front of the TV, when they were toddlers and watching Nick Jr. all day. But that's different now. And I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel maybe I'm involved in too many other things. I'm also now thinking of like another like business networking group I'm in that I participate in. I didn't start, but it's again other agents from around the country that help by passing referrals to each other. And then there's one that I'm in for KW agents with ADHD. I also just want to be better about, like, say, I haven't even talked about the comedy stuff. Like I have been, last year that was a huge part of my time and effort was spent going to improv shows, participating in improv shows, performing, and I haven't done that this year. Like, here we are, it's in April. I haven't been up on stage in a while. And even open mics I haven't been doing very much at all. So I'm really behind on that, but that's still a passion. It's still something I want to do. My excuse for that is that I've been in writing mode. It's not that I don't love improv. I think a lot of great comedy can come from improv. However, I have this goal, so within the next few years to write an hour of comedy in the same way that like a stand-up special on HBO or Netflix, you have somebody who performs an hour of comedy. I'm not saying I'm going to be at the same level as like as John Mulaney or Jim Gaffigan or Birbiglia or whoever, any of these comedy heroes of mine. But I'd like to be able to do the same thing. The same way that if you're a fan of a musician, you think to yourself, okay, and you want to write songs and things like that yourself. A lot of people have written songs. You play guitar or whatever, and I did that for a little while, and I'm not particularly good at it. But I feel like I can do comedy. I feel like I can, if I spend enough time and work on this material and write it out, I can get there. So I'm just, I'm all over the place. I've got all these things I want to do, and I know some of it's midlife crisis. Some of it's like I want to leave my mark on the world. Some of it I feel like a responsibility to do because people are counting on me, and it's just a lot. And so now I just remember there's also a weekly concert series in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, where I live, that I am on the board there. So we're booking shows for the summer. They haven't revealed the whole lineup yet, so it's not for me to say, but I will, however, quietly admit that there's a couple of like big national acts that are coming to Wauwatosa as part of this concert series. We're gonna fill the park. There's gonna be 5,000 people there. It's gonna be wild. I'm super excited about all this shit, to say the least. And so I want to do a good job. I want to be part of this. I'm looking, at how I can best represent all of these people and friends and make differences in everyone's lives. But also, as I said, and burning the candle at both ends, like burning the candle multiple places. And I'm just, I'm starting to hit that point where I'm realizing that there's no way Elon runs 3 companies and a government agency and does whatever else he's doing effectively, because I am seeing in real time how hard just these small things are when I'm trying to do all of them at the same time. So it seems highly unlikely that he's good at any of that shit. He's got a lot of help. Also, he is bad at the things he does too. So that's another part, is that he is that aside from him being bad at stuff, he's also a bad person, and we hate him. But I want to be, the good version of that, and I'm trying my best. I have just pulled up to, ironically, the Improv in Brookfield. That's what I'm in. It's right there. And I'm not going to do comedy here. I'm not even going to see comedy. There's going to be they're using this venue as a meeting space for the Milwaukee Metro Realtors Association for a coffee networking event. So I'm going to go in there. How do I decide what's important? What do I leave behind? What do I keep doing? That's what I'm going to spend 2025 doing. I've got to figure out like what's important to me, what stuff I'm going to keep doing in 26. What have I already committed to? What have I started that needs to stop? What have I not started that I need to go with? So that's where I'm at. If you have any advice, let me know.